Hello everyone and welcome to this week's recap. We're going to go over a lot of the news that you might have missed from last week in competitive Overwatch, April 15th through April 21st. Let's start with Monday, April 15th, when the Contenders Showdown information was announced. So we've known for several weeks that there's going to be some fancy special events after the Contenders seasons conclude, so we have a little bit more information about this. You can check it all out on the Overwatch Contenders website. So we have locations for the events now. The Pacific Showdown is going to be held in Shanghai, China. The Atlantic Showdown will be in Krefeld, Germany. And each region, so like North America, Australia, Korea, and so on, each region is going to send a few teams to these showdowns, and they'll play it out, see who is the best Atlantic team, who is the best Pacific team. And so there's also going to be this thing called the Gauntlet. And what I found interesting about the Gauntlet is that teams will gain or lose invites to the Gauntlet based on how they compete in the showdowns. So the rules say that for the teams who come in 5th and 6th place in the Gauntlet, they'll lose one of their invites. And then the team that comes in 1st place will gain an invite. So they give the example, if China wins the Pacific Showdown, they will bring an extra team to the Gauntlet. And if North America finishes like in last in their showdown, they would lose one of their teams and they would only be able to bring 2 instead of 3 to the Gauntlet. So that's really interesting. If somehow like Australia goes nuts and wins their showdown, instead of just bringing 1 team to the Gauntlet, now they could bring 2. That's, to me, really interesting. It puts a lot on the line for these teams. But you can read all of the details on the website. If you decide that you would like to go to one of those events, you can check it out and see what you would be running yourself into. Also on Monday, April 15th, Speedily was added to the XL2 Academy team. He is a flex DPS, only 14 years old, so he's got a while before he can find his way into the league, but he now plays for XL2. Tuesday, April 16th, this one is wild. So Yang Zhaolong of the Chengdu Hunters got himself into some trouble for making some inappropriate comments. So at first there was a video circulating around of a player on Ranked on Aspen's stream that just spewed out every swear word you could possibly think of in about 10 seconds. And people thought that that was Yang Zhaolong. It was not. So if you saw that video and thought it was him, it wasn't. But what happened was apparently he was duo queuing with Ameng. And they got into a match with Aspen, and Yang Zhaolong made a comment like something along the lines of, "Oh, Aspen, Ameng says you're his second wife." And then Ameng was like, "You can't say that, dude. That's like disrespectful in America." And I guess Yang Zhaolong did not mean to be offensive, but I think he thought it was funny. It didn't come off as funny, and the Chengdu Hunters went really hard on him. So they tweeted that they've severely reprimanded and educated him. They've imposed a fine on his entire month's salary, and they've deducted any bonus he would get from the second stage. And they said that if he makes the same mistake, they'll double his punishment. And Yang Zhaolong even said that if he makes the mistake again, he will gladly leave the league entirely. I think that they went a bit too hard on this situation because it wasn't a huge comment. It wasn't a big deal. Like, it wasn't XQC's comment toward Muma. And even Aspen was like, I get it. I know he's joking. It wasn't that big of a deal. But I think what I've noticed is that a lot of the Chinese teams tend to take their punishments really, really seriously. So this just seems to be the norm for, like Chengdu or Shanghai had a couple instances last year. So whatever the case is, Yang Zhaolong got himself into trouble. It was not the video of the lots of slurs being thrown around, but he's been severely reprimanded. Also on Tuesday, April 16th, the homestand weekend for the Dallas Fuel officially sold out. So that means that for each day, there will be 4,500 people watching Overwatch League matches live and in person. That's huge because Blizzard Arena is only like, I think, between 300 and 400. So there's going to be a huge crowd gathered there. It should be really fun from a production standpoint to be able to see it. Like, it was a lot of fun to watch the finals because of how big the crowd was. This should be equally interesting. And I'm really hoping that these events turn out well because they're the precursors to the home games that we'll be seeing in Season 3. So I really hope that goes well for them. And I'm glad that it sold out. I really am. Also, Tuesday, April 16th, Ajax from the Atlanta Academy is now looking for a new team. He's gone through team after team after team, and it looks like he will not be finishing off the playoffs with Atlanta Academy, and he is looking for a new team. Moving on to Wednesday, April 17th. This one I thought was interesting. Will Smith, Japanese soccer player Keisuke Honda, LA Clippers minority owner Dennis Wong, and Alibaba former chairman of U.S. investments Michael Zeiser have all invested in Gen.G. Gen.G is the company behind the Seoul Dynasty and several other esports teams. So these guys, including Will Smith, Keisuke Honda, they have helped raise $46 million in investments for Gen.G. I think that's really interesting because anytime you see a esports, non-tech person like Will Smith is getting into esports, whenever you see a celebrity like that getting into it, I think it's pretty interesting, and it shows that there is a broader appeal from a business standpoint for people to get into esports. It's not just something for gamers and nerds. Like, this is a real thing, and every time I see that, it kind of self-affirms, it reaffirms that, and proves that esports is here to stay, and I really like that. So, I thought that was cool news. Just wanted to throw that in there. Thursday, April 18th, the Atlanta Reign homestand event tickets went on sale. So that event will be held in Atlanta on July 6th and 7th. They'll have 4 matches a day. And you can buy those tickets on Ticketmaster at the Atlanta Reign website. So if you end up going to that, again, I think those will be really cool events. So I'm glad that those are on sale. And I have no doubt that that'll sell out as well. So yeah, those tickets are on sale. You should probably grab some before they go bye-bye. Now this one, I don't usually comment on rumors and on leaks, but this one seems fairly legitimate to me. The 2019 All-Star skins have been leaked. I don't think they've been confirmed yet. If they have, please point me toward that. But it looks like we're going to get a cool Mercy skin and a cool Lucio skin. Now, I love me some Lucio skins, let me tell you. And this one is one of the coolest ones we've gotten yet. So again, like, I'm only putting this rumor in here because it looks pretty legitimate to me. If someone mocked this up and it's fake, then go ahead and Blizzard hire them and let them make these skins for real. Like, these are sick. So I'm going to assume these are for real. So here's the photo. Enjoy. Which one do you prefer? Let me know, because I'm definitely more of the Lucio guy. I think that skin looks really cool, but the Mercy one is right up there too. Friday, April 19th, the San Francisco Shock traded Sleepy to the Washington Justice. Now, Sleepy was sitting on the bench for the Shock. The Justice needs all the help they can get, and it seems like he only scrimmed for 2 or 3 hours before playing in their first match this weekend. Now, that's insane because Sleepy apparently has not been scrimming at all for like weeks or months because he's been on the bench. And I guess with the Shock, if you're on the bench, you don't scrim because you're not going to play in the game. So he hasn't been scrimming at all, gets a couple hours to get warmed up, and gets thrown into the match with the Justice. Did not go well, but over time, I think that this could be a really good pickup for the Justice. They keep adding new players, like, and I hope that this means that they can, expand what they can do in game. I hope that means that they can get, better at the game. I want to see them being competitive, and I think this is a good step forward. So we'll have to see how this plays out now that they have a Arc and Sleepy backline. And again, they were benched on other teams, but that doesn't mean they're bad. I think they deserve to be starting, especially somewhere like Washington. I think that backline could be good for them. We'll see how it plays out in the coming weeks as they get a little bit more practice. I would assume that, obviously stage 2 is a wash for them, but maybe stage 3 they can reset, win a few games, and maybe get competitive. We'll just have to see. But I didn't see any big news coming off of the weekend. Of course, in Contenders over the next few weeks, we're going to see the playoffs and finals occurring, so I'll make sure we get those final scores in for you guys. If you're going to one of those homestand events, let me know. I want to know what those are like, so fill us in and enjoy those events. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.